Fun and games are in danger. Part 4. May we act as a team without shackling individual freedom of speech and movement. Let freedom not be lost to license. This is not the time to party, as in Bacchanalia of old. Friends, we have more to think and hash out and about. May freedom's heart flood the destitute and wretched of the world as they scale the scree, rip, rap, Sisyphean cliff to health and opportunity. Let love flash and conscience the instinctual, psychotic cruelty of the dominant. Let a power as strong as a black hole and as obscure as a hat gestate in crown unity and harmony, a community of will spread from village to village, from mansion to hovel, from apartment to apartment across great waters, around and through mountains of false and idiotic doctrines, of misunderstood scripture, of spun history, of dastardly worshipped lies. May we never lose heart. May we persevere steadfast. May we seek and embody fecund truth. The 60s challenged the distribution of wealth after that war that would save democracy for the world. We, the plebeian vanguard, challenged the preposterous expenditures of the Cold War. The children who came of age in the 60s and 70s challenged pseudo-democracy, challenged the foundations of unjust economy, like Saul tearing down the pillars of the god of Mammon and the Philistine temples. So we challenged and shook the deities of wanton, racist war. And music and poetry and art and activism as one jumped ethnic, racial, religious class barriers. They combined to create happenings. Travel déclassé, like Rome from the Bactrian steppes to Ireland and Spain, but much quicker. The happening touched all economic strata. The descendants of black slaves that built the bounty of the South could now be presented in movies and TVs and magazines as beautiful, intelligent, courageous, not just deprecating comedic janitors, eyeballs bulging, spooked by ghostly sounds. Or gracious Aunt Jemimas, so happy to humbly serve, also very afraid of ghosts. Now they were heroes on the screens, in the movements for a voice for justice, for the offspring of the freed slaves, the radical 60s. The psychedelic, sexual, religious revolution opened up and exposed the history of hypocritical Calvinist, racist North America for perusal, scrutiny, wonder, and discardation. The fate of the originals, the evidence of endless betrayals the many native nations endured was being reassessed without the Bible thumping sugar and saccharin coating. Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull, Tecumseh, Santana, Chief Joseph, Geronimo, Black Buffalo Women, John Trudell, Leonard Pelletier, Ira Hayes. The 32 hung on Lincoln's order. Oh, how it hurts to write that. It hurts. The wagon trains were introducing the end of free roaming way of life. They were bringing the civilization of Europe. How to explain to our 21st century offspring that our Euro ancestors deserved the land, misused or underused by the ones who've lived and died there for millennia, right here on the land we stand. How explain? How then the teachings of the Nazarene? How now equality, democracy, the rights of man, 3/5 compromise? Or give me liberty or death, compromise? All the falsity of the telling of Columbus, the Pilgrims and Puritans, the avarice of the rationale for ethnic cleansing enshrined as manifest destiny. Creeks, Cherokee, Sioux, Cheyenne, Crow, Cree, Apaches, Tlinkits, Ojibwa, Wampanoag, over 150 languages, rounded up like kine to concentration camps. Think how the pale-skinned newbies raised kids with diligent spankings and switchings, axioms extracted and twisted from their King James, drumming the fear and shame of sexual indulgence, extolling racial superiority into their clans and glands. Sometimes when one aims at the moon, they hit or land on top of Sagarmatha. The priests, reverends, and preachers offered their services to the oligarchs, and their technology and psychology proved even more powerful in slaughter and containment than the religion which sanctified and condoned slaughter of heathens, i.e. all who disagreed with seizing of the continent's territory and bounty of natural resources. The legacy of Jesus again, abused, misused, to divert the flowing streams away from a just and prosperous future sustaining ocean. Devotion, prayer, and ritual was to replace agitprop and insurgencies of universal compassion. Reciting mantras, folding hands, kneeling intended to replace the pleasures of unchained, uncaged, unfettered image of passion and all-in devoted desire. Freedom, oh free! The history of governing and the history of finance demonstrates deception and circumscribing the laws, dishonoring agreements are the instruments of success and reward. So what does it mean? In The Gray Monk, Blake said the overthrow of the tyrant invariably led to another tyrant. The word tyrant now is not of the meaning it had in the ancient Hellenic birth. And honor? A notion honor would be the ultimate checks and balances. Sorry, Voltaire, Gibbons, Plato, Jefferson. Honor is a stowaway on a boatload of contraband. It is word in the underworld. It became idiotic and heinous, spoken by the blamers of the victims. It became something Boy Scouts, Marines, and SEALs, FBI, CIA, MAGA-capped, gave oath, loyal yet hardly comprehend. It is guarded, often incognito, in the hearts of the destitute and oppressed. It is biding and marking time. It is not lost. I hear an alto sax popping the weasel in the woodshed.